car do we have?
Anthony, I brought my SW20 MR2.
All right, Brett, this thing is badass as shit, dude. This thing is freaking awesome. So this was a giveaway car that you won?
Yes, I won this through a company named THROTL. So check out my merch here, even
Nice,
the window
yeah,
banner.
yeah, represent, okay.
Throughout Southern California.
Nice.
Bunch of good guys. I love Mickey, Ricky, Evan. It's for you guys.
Yeah, nice, dude. So you won this, right? You bought some stuff, right? Basically it was entered in. You end up winning this exact car, what they built on their channel and on their show and everything that they've done, and all the parts, all the pieces, and you've pretty much ended up with this. I mean, seriously, this thing's pretty sick, guys. We keep looking at it over and over again. So how long have you had it for at this point? A couple months?
Yeah, I picked it up in, the first time I ever saw this was in February.
Okay.
Went down and did my test drive in February.
Oh wow, okay.
And then it was about a month later is when I actually got it in my possession here in Idaho. So
it's nuts.
About March.
So for reference, guys, in Idaho, we don't really have a whole lot of winners of cool cars. It's not really something that happens, right? And so the fact that you won this and you won something else that we could eventually show you guys here on the channel as well is pretty wild. And so you have an Instagram, right?
I do.
What is it?
It's Wheels68X, so if Dane can edit it, it'll be right, we'll put it right there.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so check it out so you can kind of get a sneak peek, right? Because I want to make this all about the MR2 today, but he has another super badass car that we might have to pull onto the show as well. So, all right, Brett, so this thing's already relatively clean, right? You said you took it to a car show or you took it to a meet just a little while ago, so you got it cleaned up before then. So how do you normally wash this thing?
So my method is normally I'll use a foam cannon and then the 2-bucket method.
Okay, cool. So you're very familiar with proper washing techniques. All right, that's good, that's good. So we're probably gonna implement that same exact technique here in our wash bay, showing you some new chemical products and things like that. And so stuff that you might have not used before, mainly for the fact that this stuff's from Germany and I don't think you would have been able to use it until this point.
Yeah, not yet.
So I think you'll like it. So we're gonna get the MR2 pulled into the wash bay. We're gonna grab our buckets, grab our foam cannon, get everything ready, because basically we're gonna do a wash, 2-bucket method, clean the wheels up, and then from there we're going to add some type of protection on top of that just to get this thing looking really, really good. And so, sound like a plan?
Sounds awesome.
All right, let's do it. All right, guys, so we got the car into the wash bay. We got our buckets, we got our soap, we got our mitts, we got our iCase foam sprayer. I think we're pretty much ready to go. But I want you to talk about this. So there was a process that we needed to do to prepare this for the foam bath, because there's lots of holes in this car. What do you typically do? Because I'm seeing something here. Explain kind of what you like to do.
So when the boys down at THROTL, when they designed this car, they built it, they actually put in this Lotus front scoop into the hood. So obviously a MR2 hood should be just flat, and this is where the spare tire goes normally. Well, they wanted to exhaust the radiator heat up through.
Makes sense, yeah.
Just like you'd have on a Lotus, a Evora, or a Lotus Exige. And so what they weren't able to do was fully like seal up the bulkhead from where the radiator is.
Gotcha.
To meet up to the hood. So what I have to do to make sure no water gets into the frunk is I actually have to tape up a garbage bag at the bottom of the nostrils, and just to catch any of the water. And then when we're done here, I'll pull it out and
perfect.
It'll be done.
You know what? I like that, right? He's a problem solver, finds something and says, okay, it's not that big of a deal, right? And so I like that. The good news is that we're using deionized water, right? And so the water we're using today is so pure that even if there was water in the jams or anything like that, it's not going to dry to a hard water spot, right? Nice. And so hard water, not about that here. So you need to explain, right? So this is sheeting off water. This is beating and sheeting off water pretty fast. What's on this car right now? What current protection is on here?
So I don't know what THROTL did. I know they did a little bit of detailing, but my main thing I use is I'll use the Meguiar's ceramic detailer.
Okay, okay. So yeah, I could
just post-wash.
I can definitely tell that there is something, it's good. It's really good beating. I mean, it's coming right off. And so that should make for a very easy clean. So I'm excited for that. All right, so inside here we have the Koch Chemie GSF. It's our gentle snow foam. Now this stuff is become my favorite car soap. Seriously, it's that good. And so not only just for the smell, but because that this foam goes on in actual layers, right? And you'll see what I'm talking about, because when we start to rinse the car, you'll see that there is foam still stuck underneath the existing foam that you thought was rinsed off, right? And so it has a very good long cleaning, long dwell time, longer than most I've seen, and especially on a coated car. Typically, you won't see foam stick and cling like this would on something that has this much protection. So you'll kind of see what I'm talking about as we go. But smells very good, works extremely well, plenty of lubrication, and just a really good experience. So
with that, do you have to change up your ratios? Because I know some foam cannons, they like a certain drip ratio. Do you have to change that up since it is so much more stickier?
No, so typically, dude, I just run it so on the PF22 here, right? So you have your adjustment setting on what kind of fan spray I would like, and this is the same head regardless of the bottom unit. So basically on the new PF22, it's a squared bottom. This is still the round bottom, but on the actual mechanism here on how the foam cannon works, I keep my spray pattern same width. I like to go narrow width to where I'm producing the nicest layer, the nicest fan of foam, and then I'm pretty much going max soap the entire time. You could back it down if you want to save it for a later day. So if I didn't want to use as much soap, I could totally do that. If I want to use as much soap as I can, I just beef that up by turning that knob.
Too easy.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, Brad, so which wash pad would you like? It's up to you. This is not a matter of whose is bigger, it's just a matter of preference and how you use it. So we have our big wash pad, so this is a 10 by 10. This is our Cyclone wash pad. This thing's pretty large, right? And we have our smaller 6 by 8. So I grabbed both because I want to give you the option. What are you feeling?
I like the girthier one, the bigger one.
All right. I feel you. Say no more. So there you go. So freshly rinsed.
Ooh, it's warm water too.
Warm water. That's how we do it here, man. It's an amenity here that we have at the Rag Company HQ. Now watch your step because this can get slippery. So you know how to go, top to bottom, and then flip the pad often as needed. So you know what you're doing. So do you like detailing? Is this something that you like to do on your own? Did you always like detailing, or is this something you kind of got into once you had some pretty cool cars?
I've owned a couple cool cars over the years. I think I enjoy the final product more than I enjoy the task.
Okay, I feel you.
I love being able to look back at a car. Like that's my favorite thing, is parking my car and looking back.
Yep,
like the old adage goes, if you don't look back at your car when you park it, you got the wrong car.
You got the wrong car.
And I always look back at my car, and I love to see my car being as clean and perfect as it can be.
Yep, I feel you, man.
So, but I do enjoy the products that make it easier and make it better.
Yes.
So any products that are just.
So typically, what do you use? And you can be honest. You can tell us whatever brands you use. We're not gonna be mad at you. What do you typically like to use? What's your go-tos?
Well, I use a lot of Chemical Guys products.
Okay.
They
have some favorites in that line that you really like? Soaps, waxes, wheel cleaners.
I do like their Diablo wheel cleaner. It's probably the product that got me most interested in continuing with their line.
Yeah.
They had it's just a good overall wheel cleaner. I enjoy their slick, or their Hydro Slick line.
Yep.
Or their Hydro line, that's what it is. Because they just came out with the Hydro Thread, which is for cloth, soft materials. But yeah, I love their Hydro Slick my Ford Edge, and it's still like it sloughs off the dirt. Any loose particulates just fall right off just with wind.
Nice, dude. That's money, man. No, Chemical Guys does make some good stuff. I will agree. I tell people that they're kind of like, they're the people when you search a lot of things before you get into the rabbit hole of detailing, right? And you start searching YouTube videos, there are probably the easiest to follow. Like their videos are the easiest to follow, and they kind of get you hooked first. And then once you get hooked, that's when you're like, what else is out there, right? What else can I try? And then that's when the rabbit hole begins. So one other thing I want to talk about, Brett. So let's talk about kind of the winning process, right? So did they call you when THROTL announced the winner, or how did that work?
So yes, THROTL does do it a little differently than most other companies. They do their drawing in-house.
Yep.
So they actually called me in person. I actually missed their phone call.
Oh no.
They tried to leave a message.
Yeah.
And my phone box, or my mailbox was full.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Ended up getting a text saying, hey, this is so-and-so this is Mickey from THROTL.
Yeah.
I want to ask about, a product. I want you to give us some feedback on the product you bought.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of their shtick.
That's what they do, yeah.
And so I ended up calling them back. And yeah, it was a
Did
very...
you kind of have a feeling that was it? Or were you kind of like, oh, I genuinely have no idea what they're calling about?
Well, I seriously thought they were asking about a product review, because when so I watched the channel, so I know his name is Mickey.
Yeah.
It's Mickey, Ricky, and Evan are the three main guys on the channel. I thought he said Nicky.
Uh-huh.
So I'm thinking, oh, it's just another guy in the back end asking about the floor mats I bought. So
yeah.
I didn't pay it any mind, to be honest with you, until at the very end he's like, okay, well, thanks for giving us feedback, and by the way, you won the MR2. And so at that point I was standing at my breakfast bar, and I had to actually take a couple steps back and sit down, because that's when it hit me. I'm like, no way.
You're like, no way. That's nuts, man. What a feeling. I can't even imagine what that would be like. That would be pretty wild.
I think the best part of the whole process is the fact of just how invested you get into these cars. Like this car means a lot to me just because I watched them build it. You know, and you get emotionally invested in it, and you see them, you see the guys working on it, and then one day you find out it's yours, and it's just so surreal. And even sitting in my garage, like I open my garage, come out to the garage, and I have this car and then the other car, and it still just blows my mind. Like I can't.
Dude, it would blow my mind as well. And so what, I mean, be honest, did you go back and rewatch all the videos once you kind of had the car in your possession to kind of go back through and see all that was done at a little bit of a different look, I guess?
Oh, I think I actually messed up their analytics, because once I found out I won, I probably sat and rewatched the entire series of them building this probably at least 10 times.
That's what I would do. I'm like, if I actually won the car, I'd be like, okay, now I need to pay way more attention to everything that's going on, because this is mine now.
Yes. And so I know almost every nut and bolt that's on this thing. Everything they did, I've watched and rewatched.
Yeah. Jeez, that's crazy, man. That is nuts. And so let's talk about some of the mods then. So do you have a favorite mod that's on the car that THROTL did? Is there anything that you're wanting to do that would change that?
Well, obviously I think my favorite mod, and it's probably the biggest mod, is the 2GR swap. So they pulled this was a naturally aspirated chassis. So for all the MR2 lovers out there, this is an SW20 technically. They took out that 2.2 and dropped in this 3.5, and I think the original motor came out of a Sienna minivan.
Nice.
The one that I blew up on accident. I don't know where this particular motor was sourced from, but yeah, it's basically a 300 horsepower, 280 foot-pounds of torque V6, and it only added about 40 to 50 pounds the overall weight.
Nice. Okay.
So
small car, man, makes it easy.
Right.
So we're gonna go ahead and rinse it now, and then we're gonna knock out the wheels, and we should be able to do that in one go, and go from there. All right, so apparently sometimes this happens, right? When customers buy banners at the rag company, sometimes they request that we sign them, whether they're fans of the podcast or fans of the shows, you name it. So sometimes we'll step aside and sign some stuff. And so if you ever place an order and want something signed, just leave it in the notes and we will sign it for you, whether it's a foamer, a banner, you name it, just something fun that we do. So yeah, whoever scored this banner, you're in our show. Nice. All right, guys, so it's time to knock out the wheels here. So these are Volk. What model of Volks are these?
These are GTSs.
Dude, these are old school, man. This is
2006.
This is sick. These are super nice. Two-piece, right?
Yes, sir.
And you had these powder coated. You had these basically. You had the faces redone, right?
Yes.
And those look Dude, it looks killer. Are these the stock center caps?
Those are the old school,
Dude,
center caps, originals.
these look great. Well, we're standing in a lot of water, so let's get these things cleaned up. So we're gonna be using Green Star, which is Koch Chemi's universal cleaner. It's like an APC. I have it in 10-to-1 in the IK foamer. Have you ever seen one of these before?
I have not.
You're gonna like these. So basically, you like foam, right? You guys like foam. We like to create foam. So we're gonna foam this wheel up, and instead of using brushes, since these are freshly powder coated and look really nice and refinished, we're gonna use towels instead, right? I feel like I'm faster and more efficient with towels in some cases than I am brushes. So for this, pretty cool, right? And a handheld thing, not bad. So then from there, I'm gonna grab one of these towels, get this thing rinsed out. And since the tires look pretty damn good, man, I don't think that those are gonna need to be deep cleaned, so we're not gonna scrub those today, but we will start working the faces. And you can just feel that this just has a ton of lubrication. Dude, all that looks so good. Did they refinish all of the bolts and everything too, or no?
No, I cleaned them up myself. I put them in ultrasonic cleaner to get all the grime off.
Yeah, those look killer. Looks really good.
I think I'm gonna get the barrels powder coated, either a matte or a gloss black, just to help set the bronze off.
Yeah.
Almost looks like it's just floating there, where the line between the tire and the barrel kind of disappear.
Yeah, yeah. Just gonna get inside there.
Your manners, my own heart, cleaning the inner barrels.
Okay, quick wipe out. Nothing super detailed. Typically when I do barrels, man, I'll do wheels off, or I'll use a dedicated barrel brush, but it's gonna be good enough. So let that rinse back inside there. I'm gonna rinse that wheel off. I'm gonna do the same technique on the other three.
So how many different rags do you normally like for a detail? Because you know you want your kind of your color coded.
Yeah, so I typically, like on my cars, I typically go through about 3 to 4 different types of towels is typically what I go through. And that includes drying towels, glass towels, wheel towels, and then kind of like spot touch-up towels. And then I also have my door jam. So technically 5 towels I'll have. So I go through quite a few. And I have different purposes for mine. So like in my lineup, I have a towel for pretty much everything. So like I'll have my dedicated drying towel, so whether it's a gauntlet or whether it's a liquidator. We have this fly that has not stopped bothering us for like 5 days now. I wish it would just stop. But anyway, so liquidator,
they don't shower
gauntlet.
here at the rag company.
Yeah. Liquidator, gauntlet. I mean, I have my FTWs for my windows. I have my my minks for my wheels. And then my door jams will typically be like Eaglet 350s or Eaglet 500s because those are pretty manageable and pretty easy to clean door jams out with. And so, yeah, and I kind of change it up from time to time. I mean, I have my personal favorite towels, but I also have towels that I like just to use to switch things up.
Any products that you can actually mix between towels? Like obviously you break them down by purpose, but you don't want to probably mix between certain products. Like
yeah, so that's a good question. So typically, like for example, when I'm washing towels and things like that, I try to separate them. So all my dirty jobs towels, whether it's like wheel towels, whether it's door jam towels, I will separate those from my drying towels and my paint safe towels. And then same thing goes for like my quick detailing towels, right? So if there's anything where I'm doing spot touch up or cleaning with my ultra plush towels, those are all things that I like to separate from the rest, mainly for the fact that they're just the nicest towels and they're the more expensive towels. So even though I work for a towel company, I still like to take care of my things and take care of my investments. And so, you know, and I have my, I have a box, right? I have a tote. I call them my untouchable towels, right? Like you can't, like I don't want my wife to go and grab one. I don't want my friend to come and grab one. It's like my pristine, like have only been washed in with the purest paint type of towels. And so I have those. And that's like my crazy batch. So that's typically, there's Pluffles in there, there's Eagle 500s, Everest 550s. Basically just my really ultra high-end Korean towels is what's inside there. And so, whereas my dailies and all of my other cars and stuff, they'll get pretty much all my other different types of towels, and I'll cycle through those. And I cycle through them pretty much every 6 months to a year. About a year is when I say, okay, it's time to probably replace these. And so I replace them after about a year. Not that they don't work anymore, but I felt like I work for a towel company. So what I do is I give them away to friends, and they love it because they're like, holy smokes, you're giving me all these free towels.
You're just getting broke in.
I'm like, you know, I work for a towel company, here you go. So I kind of just, you know, pass the love on. And so that's what I've typically done. And, but yeah. It's definitely good to organize your towels. You definitely want to have some organization in there. I think you need to rinse that rear wheel, right?
Yes, sir. I got one other question for as far as, because you talked about the care and stuff.
Yes.
So I know that there is another company out there that makes a cleaning, something you put in your washer, detergent, for microfibers. Is there anything in particular that you use? Obviously you don't want any dyes or anything that helps break down the like. Yeah. You don't want to put it back on your car.
So for washing towels, we're working on something. I don't know when this video is coming out, but we're working on something. Let's leave it at that. That is going to be best in class for that purpose, right? But for the last 20-something years, right, that company's been in business, we've always recommended using a free and clear liquid detergent, something that is going to be, you know, for sensitive skin. That's not going to contain a lot of dyes, a lot of perfumes or anything like that. And so we're not saying that you can't use a dye or a perfume within your towels. You can. We just think that microfiber should be as pure as possible, right? Because essentially you're washing a very fine plastic. That's pretty much what you're doing. And so when it comes to washing the towels, we want people to be able to not use anything too strong, right? But also not load the microfiber up with things that are unnecessary, right? That's why we tell people with fabric softener is not ideal, because a fabric softener is going to clog the microfiber. Same thing with a dryer sheet, right? That residual product, that stuff that's coming off to make your towels or your clothes softer, that's now going into your towels, which is going to affect the drying ability, which is going to affect the absorption. It's also going to affect the way that the towel acts on the paint. And so we want it, and these towels are designed to be able to perform their best, you know, basically straight out the box. We tell people wash them first, right? Just to remove any residual lint from manufacturing, and from there, have at it, right?
That's awesome.
So
that wasn't a plug for the new product. That was not scripted. I just want to know how to take care of my towels.
Yeah. He knows. I like that. I respect that. All right, so go ahead and we'll rinse this off. For this, since we're not needing to really top it with more ceramic product because it already has ceramic product on it, we're just going to use a traditional quick detailer. So this is Coach Chemi's Quick and Shine. This is their dedicated quick detailer for their line. Comes in these giant 1-liter bottles, so you get a lot to carry around. Let's just say that. And what we've done is we've taken the IK trigger sprayer head and put these on here, and I like the spray pattern. I think it works really, really well. So what we're going to do is we are going to pre-spray the top. What this is going to do is this is going to provide lubrication for our towel, and it's also going to help the towel absorb faster. From there, we are going to take our liquidator. We'll just do a quick drag dry. Then flip it over, buff in the product. That's slick, man. That feels really, really good. And that's pretty much the process. We're gonna be doing that throughout the whole car, drying it as we go and adding the quick detailer. And so anytime you have, if there's any residual, flip over the towel, go back for round 2 if you need to go back for round 2. Just this product is really slick. And so I wanna make sure to spread it in, because the difference between this quick detailer and other quick detailers is this is something you're actually applying to the surface rather than just spraying on and wiping off, right? You're actually adding something. And so this will change the surface tension, add some slickness, add gloss. There's quite a bit involved within this quick detailer alone. They also have another product called their QF, which is a quick finish, which is not a slick product, but it's more of a finishing spray in between like body shop sessions or between coatings or anything like that, where you don't want to affect whatever is underneath that, that paint, or whatever's on that paint, I should say. So that's kind of the plan. Any questions?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I'll have you knock out the hood first and the windshield. What's nice, you don't have to deal with a hot hood. That's gotta be pretty nice, right? When it comes to washing, you got a hot, what do you would call that? A hot rear?
Engine cover.
Hot engine cover, right?
Engine cover. So what's your rule on touching the ground? Once it's on the ground,
I am realistic when it comes to things touching the ground, right? Because if I'm working inside here and a towel touches the ground, it's not the worst case in the world because these floors are cleaned every single day. If I am at my house and I drop the towel on the ground and it lands in the rocks next to me, that's when I say, okay, I'm done with this towel.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've had the tip of one of my towels touch the ground, and I'm like, you have that debate in your head. You're like,
is it worth it? Yeah.
I'm like, nope, folding it over.
All right, guys. So we're gonna be knocking out the wheels next. So paint's feeling and looking awesome. This is, I think it was a single stage paint.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And so this could be 10 times glossier, I think, with a polish, right? Get it repolished, get it all looking good. This could look amazing, seriously. I think it already looks great, but it could look even better if you really wanted to. That'll be a different day, though. So we have our wheels here, so we're gonna use Quick and Shine on the wheels as well. So same process like any other quick detailer, we're using it as a drying aid. So applying it, and then what I'm gonna be using today is an Eagle Edgeless 600, which is probably sacrilegious to some people. So if you're using an Eagle on the wheels, well, the plushness actually helps with getting in all these intricate areas. So basically what I like to do, shove the Eagle in, let the fibers do the work, and it just kind of picks things up on its own. I barely have to try, and that's why I typically like using ultra plush towels for when I'm doing my wheel drying. So that's kind of the process. We're gonna knock out the rest of these. You got it?
I think so.
Cool, go for it.
So right, you see, so since these wheels have to be mounted backwards, so yeah, right here,
Yep.
because you have the raised lip in the back, and that's the provision to allow for the tire to get stretched over, and so you have to get a nice pool of dirt water in the bottom of your rims, and if you don't wipe that up, it will stain this aluminum. Like,
okay, yeah. Well, here's that, and then what we'll do, show me what you typically do. Blot it in?
yep, I just shove it in there, and it'll soak it right up.
Oh wow, okay, you're not kidding, dude. That is an actual pool of water.
Yep.
That is, yeah, quite a bit. Okay.
So that's just the last step of my wash day is once the wheels are dry.
Yep.
That's when I dress the tires.
Yep.
I'll just have a crappy rag with me, and I'll just tuck it right there and
let it absorb.
let it absorb.
Oh yeah. All right, Brett, so that is a wrap, man. What do you think?
Looks amazing.
It looks good, right? I didn't even have to pay him to say that. Seriously, we didn't, not this time. So yes, the MR2 looks super awesome, man. Like I said, I would love to see this single stage paint polish up down the road because I think that we could achieve more gloss out of this. I think we could make it even look better. But as it sits, for a giveaway car, man, you scored. I think this is pretty awesome. This is definitely an eye catcher. We've had everybody come out from the main building to come see the car because it really is just so unique looking and so cool. And so out of the entire process, the washing and all of that, what was your favorite part?
I really love the foam cannon. I love seeing that multi-layered foam and the soap and just how it attaches to the car and stays attached to bring all the dirt off before we even touch it.
Dude, it held up great. It held up really, really good. And I think that honestly, I think seeing that this car covered in foam was a lot more satisfying than doing a rinseless wash. Let's be honest, right?
Agreed.
I like seeing certain cars covered in foam, and there's other cars where I don't like seeing certain cars covered in foam. This is more aggressive. This looks awesome. So seeing that and that white layer of that GSF just looked really, really good. So overall, man, you have a clean car. You didn't learn anything new today because you already knew about the 2-bucket method. You already knew about the snow foam, but we did kind of show you the drying towel method when it comes to using a drying aid and showing you how that dries into the paint like that. And that's a very handy tool to have, especially because lubrication is your ultimate helper in that goal. And so, but yeah, guys, so that's pretty much a wrap here. So Brett, where could people see more of your MR2? Instagram?
So yeah, I got an Instagram account, and I'm looking maybe starting a YouTube, but for right now, just the Instagram account is Wheels68X. See if Dane can put it right there above my finger.
Nice. Cool, man. Yeah. Well, guys, check him out. Check out his other toy too, because I'm kind of leaving that very vague because I want to perhaps bring that on for a different time because it is just that cool, and I want you guys to see that as well. But you'll get a sneak preview once you go to his Instagram account. So, Brett, thanks so much for being on the show, man. We really appreciate having you. I can't wait to see this thing on the road. I think this is going to look killer in our upcoming roller shots. So, as always, guys, if you guys like this video, make sure to give us a big thumbs up. Subscribe down below for more, and stay tuned for more videos right here at The Rag Company.